पुमतिमहरदद् आत्म पुमतिम् अहरदात्मविद्ययाश्च चरणरति परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु स्वनिगममपहाय मत्प्रदिश्चां ऋतमधिकर्तुमवाप्लुतो रथस्थः धृतरथचरणोऽभ्ययच्चरल्गुर् हरिरिवहन्तुमिभं गतोत्तरीयः शीतविशिखहतो विशीर्णदंश क्षतजपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभमभिससारमद्वधार्थं स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्दः विजयरथकुटुम्ब आत्ततोत्रे धृतहयरश्मिनि तच्छ्रिये क्षणीये भगवति रतिरस्तु मे मुमूर्षो यमिह निरीक्ष्य हतागता स्वरूपम् ललितगतिविलासवल्गुहास प्रणयनिरीक्षणकल्पितो रुमाना कृतमनुकृतवत्य उन्मदान्धः प्रकृतिमगन् किल यस्य गोपवध्वा मुनिगणनृपवर्यसङ्कुलेन्तः सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूय एषाम् उपपदे ईक्षणीयो मम दृशिगोचर एष आविरात्मा तमिममहम् अजं शरीरभाजां हृदि हृदिष्ठितम् आत्मकल्पितानां प्रतिदृशमिव नैकधार्ककं धार्कमेकं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहा। भीष्म पंचक की जय। कार्तिक महामहोत्सव की जय। हरे कृष्ण। I think Mataji has joined. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yeah. So you sang from the Bhagavatam verses?
Yes, Mataji. I have sung Bhishma Suti, 11 verses.
Bhishma Suti. The first pada again sing and explain the first pada. First two padas you sing and explain it. And tomorrow next two padas. There are 10 padas. Bhishma Pitamaha glorifying Krishna, right?
Yes, Mataji.
So there are 10 padas. First 5 padas just read out.
Okay. Shri Bhishma Uvacha इति मतिरूपकल्पिता वितृष्णा भगवति सात्वत पुङ्गवे विभुम्नि स्वसुखमुपगते क्वचिद्विहर्तुं प्रकृतिमुपेयुषि यद्भवा प्रवाह त्रिभुवनकमनं तमालवर्णं रविकरगौरवराम्बरं दधाने वपुरलककुलावृताननाब्जं विजयसखेरतिरस्तु मे नवद्या युधितुरगरजो विधूम्रविश्वक् कचलुलितश्रमवार्यलङ्कृतास्ये मम निशितशरैः विभिद्यमाना त्वचि कवचेस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा सपदि सखीवचो निशम्य मध्ये निजपरयोर्बलयोरथं निवेश्य स्थितवती परसैनिकायुरक्ष्णा ऋतवती पार्थ सखेरतिर्ममास्तु व्यवहितप्रतनामुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधाद्विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या कुमतिमहरहदात्मविद्यायाश्च चरणरथी परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
So tell the meanings of the first 5 verses. You sang again. Tell the
Okay,
meaning.
for the first verse, iti mate rupakalpita vitrishna bhagavati satvata pungave vibhumni.
Just read out the translations.
Okay, so in the first verse, Bhishma Deva is praising Lord by saying, "Let me now invest my thinking, feeling, and willing, which were so engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Shri Krishna. He is always self satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasures by descending to the material world, although it is from him only that the material world is created." Second verse, Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. On the battlefield, where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds on his skin dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. In obedience to the command of his friend, Lord Shri Krishna entered the arena of the battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana. And while there he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna. The fifth verse, when Arjuna was seemingly polluted by ignorance upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. May his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction. Hare Krishna.
You can complete the full. Complete full. Complete all.
Sing the verse as well.
Yeah, no, you can sing for the next 5 and then complete it.
स्वनिगममपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञां ऋतमधिकर्तुमवाप्लुतो रतस्तः धृतरथचरणोऽभ्ययाचलद्गुर्हरि इव हन्तुमिभं गतो तरीयः. Fulfilling my vow and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way. शीतविशिखहतो विशीर्णदंशः शतजपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभमभिससारमद्वदार्थम् स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्दः. May He, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead who awards salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, he charged me as if angry because of the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was shattered and his body was smeared with the blood due to the wounds. विजयरथ कुटुम्ब आततोत्रे धृतहयरश्मिनि तच्छ्रिये क्षणीये भगवतिरतिरस्तु मे मुमूर्षो यमिह निरीक्ष्य गता स्वरूपम्. At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon Arjuna's chariot driver, who stood with a whip in his right hand and a bridle rope in his left, and who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death. ललितगतिविलासवल्गुहास प्रणयनिरीक्षणकल्पितोरुमाना कृतमनुकृतवत्य उन्मदान्धः प्रकृतिमगन् किल यस्य गोपवध्वा. Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Sri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Rajadhama, the gopis. The damsels imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from the Rasa dance. मुनिगणनृपवर्यसङ्कुलेन्तः सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूयमेषाम् अर्हणमुपपिद ईक्षणीयो मम दृशिगोचर एष आविरात्मा. At the Rajasuya Yajna, sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir, there was the greatest assembly of all elite people, men of the world, the royal and the learned orders. And in that great assembly, Lord Sri Krishna was worshipped by one and all as the most exalted personality of Godhead. This happened during my presence, and I remember the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. तमीमम् अहम् अजं शरीरभाजां रिधि रिधि दिष्टितम् आत्मकल्पितानां प्रतिदृशमिव नैकधार्ककं धार्कमेकं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहा. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon the one Lord Sri Krishna, now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconceptions of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of the mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, Bhishma Panchak is going on for 5 days. Bhishma Pitama has done Vrata in this Karthik month. That is why one remembers Bhishma. But how to remember Bhishma? The prayers which Bhishma has done for Lord Krishna. And that too lying on the bed of arrows. So this is a unique thing. When a person is in difficulty, generally he prays Lord to remove the difficulty. But here, Bhishma Pitama is glorifying Krishna and saying that let the wonderful form of your Parthasarathi you always be instilled in my mind. Because there is Parthasarathi Loka where Krishna and Arjuna is always there. Krishna is the driver of Arjuna, Parthasarathi, Roka, and there Bhishma Pitama is always there on the opposite side. So the question arises why Bhishma took the side of Kauravas. There's only reason because he wants to see Krishna's Parthasarathi form. He just wants to see this. And the eternal Loka also, he's always seeing this. So the love which Bhishma Pitamaha expresses to Krishna is Veera Rasa. Veera Rasa means sometimes the children like to fight with their father, like some boxing or something like that. So that is how Bhishma Pitamaha always likes to see this beautiful form, and he is in the Veera Rasa. He knows Krishna is only going to win, but then still being on the opposite side, he is able to see the beautiful form of Krishna, especially when the hairs of Krishna are flowing like with the wind, and the dust is there on the lotus feet of Krishna. So this beautiful form is just imbibed in his heart. Like Satyavrat Muni always wants Krishna's Damodar form, where Krishna is standing in fearful way. So every realized soul or every devotee, they like Krishna's particular form. So Bhishma Pitama loves this form, especially Bhishma Pitama is known for uh, because Krishna's name became Satyavrat because of Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama took the vow that I will break the vow of Krishna. And Krishna broke his vow of not participating in the war just because Bhishma Pitama gave the word Satyavrata. That means Krishna likes to fulfill the vows of the devotee. Krishna came down from his chariot, took the wheel in his hand, Sarangapani, and immediately Bhishma Pitamaha got down from his chariot, folded his hands, and was seeing this beautiful form of Krishna. At that time, Amba, what she did, because she has done so much of tapasya to kill Bhishma. Her name is actually Shikhandi. Shikhandi, what he did was he went on throwing the arrows. Hmm. And in this way, there was a bed of arrows, and Bhishma is lying. He has Ichha Mrityu. So he has seen all the Kurukshetra war. And after that, when the time comes, it goes to the sun travels to Uttarayana, Makar Sankranti day. He chants the beautiful prayers. The first prayer itself, Vishwapitama says, it is not because of their their sins that Pandavas are suffering. No, it is your mercy that you want to show that even though such suffering condition is there, the devotees never forget it. So such a love Bhishma Pitama has. So now we saw that how Shripad Madhvacharya, why hearing Madhvacharya, Shripad Madhvacharya's pastime is beneficial in this Bhishma Panchaka because Madhvacharya is none other than Bhima. And Bhishma Pitama is to love Bhim, Arjun. His pet was Arjun anyhow, but Pandavas were very dear to him. So Madhvacharya is one of the Pandava. That is why hearing to Madhvacharya's pastimes will automatically please Bhishma Pitama. Dana Suktam expounded. So yesterday we saw that how Vishnu Sahasranam was expounded in Aduru, which is near Kasargod, where Madhvacharya says for every Suktam of Vedas, there are minimum three meanings. For every verse of Mahabharata, there are minimum 10 meanings. For every word of Vishnu Sahasranam, there are minimum 100 meanings. So every word of Vishnu Sahasranam, that means every name of Krishna has minimum, this is all minimum 100 meanings. So the scholars who were there, they were eager to hear also. At the same time, they wanted uh, they wanted Madhvacharya to be defeated also. So Madhvacharya saw. So they did not want. They wanted Madhvacharya to fail in giving the 100 meanings. So Madhvacharya very nicely twisted. I will give 100 meanings, and if you are able to repeat it, then you will. So you will win. So this was like very nice thing for them. They thought it is very easy to repeat what they have heard. So now, what happened when Just first meaning was going on, 50 meanings was given, and they could not recollect what they have heard. Leave aside 1,000 names meaning. This was just the first name Vishwam is given, and 50 meanings are told. They are not able to recollect also. Now, thus they accepted their defeat and they became Madhvacharya's best disciples. Dana Suktam expounded. There was another temple on the bank of Payasvini. It is believed to be the Vishnu temple at a place called Bailangadi. Shri Purna Pragya paid a visit to the temple also. As usual, there was a gathering of scholars and laymen. Along with the scholarship, scholars have heard of the generosity of Sri Madhva. The liberal honorarium given by him was another attraction of his assemblies. Scholars were eager to get special honorarium from him by exhibiting their skill. So honorarium means praising. So he used to praise, sometimes he used to give some gift also. They used to praise them. So they were very eager to get appreciation from Madhvacharya. This was his quality. Appreciating others was his wonderful quality. Especially, especially when the scholars used to show their scholarship. Madhvacharya, yeah, used to praise them very nicely. Same thing can see even in Chaitanya Bhagavata also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to praise his disciples, praise some scholars who had come. So a place for scholars in the propagation of real knowledge is indispensable. For their active participation, it is a duty of the eh, mutt to create opportunities for them so that there may be no hindrance for their livelihood. So in this way, Madhvacharya gave them a nice place. Scholars need a place so that they get opportunity to speak. If the recognition of the heads of the pithas is coupled with that of the rulers, then it will be possible for the scholars to get themselves totally involved in knowledge oriented activities. So honorarium also refers to giving some benefits also. So kings used to be, the scholars used to be connected to the kings. When the stomach is hungry, it is impossible for knowledge to blossom in the head. Knowledge oriented activities are many, like collection of books, studies, discourses, research, writing, criticism, and so on. Mind is the origin of all this. Dissatisfaction, disappointment, and worries will interrupt knowledge oriented activity. So, a Brahmana should not be kept in anxiety. That is why the Kshatriyas, what they do, they always give facilities to the Brahmanas so that they will be engaged in the knowledge oriented activity. For such calmness of mind, more than anything else, financial self dependence and encouragement are indispensable for scholars. Studies and discourses will be a means for accomplishment only when they are done without break. The worldly way of teaching by receiving money from the students will never be auspicious according to scriptural injunctions. The teachers take money. Actually, it is not auspicious. There are certain professions where money should not be taken. Automatically, they should be protected. If money is there, greed is there. But whatever necessities are there that is given, then greed will not be there. Like doctors, then the teachers, they should not be given money directly. They should be provided all the facilities. That was the Vedic way of maintaining the teachers. Whatever may be, giving Guru Dakshina is only after the completion of the studies. It is a worldly way to get money in advance and then teach the subject. So the modern schools, what they do, they first take the fees and then teach. To teach first and then receive a token Guru Dakshina is the rule of the scripture. So other than the abodes of rulers and preceptors, Aramane and Gurumane, there is no possibility at at all for the scholars to have any other source of income. So Aramane means the place where the king stays, that is the palace. In the palace, the scholars have the place. And Guru Mani means where Guru stays, there the scholars are the place, even for those who have a source of income, to instill self confidence. The honorarium from the abodes of rulers and preceptors is indispensable up to a certain stage. The support of the abode of rulers is not reliable due internal squabbles, trouble from enemies, personal disinterestedness, and the like. In the age of Kali, it is impossible even to conjecture the code of conduct that all rulers should be friendly to the scholars. So the abode of preceptors alone is the dependable source of income for scholars. Very nicely explained. In Aramane also there are dangers. What is the danger? From there, one cannot rely on the honorarium or the income because there may be enemies who can come and attack, and there may be different disinterest also it can happen. So it is only the abode of preceptors. That means it is only the shelter of Guru where the scholars can get a source of income. The interest in studies will reach its peak when honorarium suitable to scholarship is got. Then inspiration to achieve more will be generated. So, to increase the degree of honor, taking into account the degree of accomplishment, is another aspect of propagation of real knowledge. Naturally, people rush to worldly studies since such an honor is found in abundance for them. In the spiritual world, such an honor is extremely rare. If special honor is not paid for special accomplishment, then the accomplishment of the earnest seeker becomes slim. Deprived of his spiritual accomplishment, society becomes poor. If scientific advancement leads to the economic prosperity of a nation, then spiritual accomplishment leads to the path of mental progress of its subjects. That is why there is no much eagerness among honoring the scholars. That is why there is no much eagerness among the scholars to exhibit their scholarship in the presence of generous Pithadipatis. These are not the days to hope for own children to take care of their parents in their old age. That is, honorarium is the special means for outer peace by protection and inner tranquility by instilling confidence. If Pithadipatis lack in generosity, then studies will be on decline. Scholars will be worried and society will languish. In this background, the act of honoring scholars in a special way had an important place in the propagation of philosophy by Purna Pragya. For that reason, scholars and students gathered in assembly and special training was continuously undertaken by them at home. So now see Purna Pragya, what all facilities is giving. He is giving facilities to the scholars, he is giving facilities to the students. That is how the platform is created. If income is not there, then inner tranquility will go because there will be always a tension of how to protect the family, how to protect oneself. So if the wealth of scholarship accomplished at homes is exhibited in assemblies, then it will help to instill faith even in laymen. So in those days, Gurukul is to not be run by fees. In fact, there will be great mercantile people who help the Gurukul. So what they used to do is they used to keep some funds every month for the Gurukul students, so that when they come out of the Gurukul, they have money with them. They have some funds so that they can start their own Gurukul, or they can start their business. In this way, Gurukul studies is to flourish. So the children will never have an anxiety what to do after he comes out of the school. He has some income so that he can start. If he is very scholarly, because Gurukul nourishes all type of students. So if he is very scholarly, has a Brahminical nature, then he will be given the platform in his Guru's ashram itself, and there he doesn't have to worry for any money and all. So this is how the scholars are nourished. Scholars waited to throng into the assembly of Purna Pragya due to this reason also. So here also in some of these temples, the brahmacharis are also given some monthly payment so that they can give to their homes. So it is not a salary; it is just an honorarium for the work or for the sacrifice what they do, because they leave their family and come, so they don't have to worry what will happen to their family. And we have seen my Shiksha Guru always supporting the brahmacharis. He has made me give so many help to the brahmacharis, like my sister's marriage. So all these things, it is good. The temple president, he acts at the level of the main, the pontiff. So what he does is main Pithadipati. So his work is to take care of the brahmacharis who leave their houses and they come. Suppose the parents are sick, the children have to get married. That like sisters and brothers are going to get married, and parents don't have money, then all these facilities has to be given. If temple doesn't provide the facility, matha doesn't provide the facility, nobody will take interest even to come to the ashram. So here scholars waited to throng into the assembly of Purna Pragya. What happened there was also like that only. The scholars who assembled there had planned a strategy also. The popularity of Purna Pragya had made them lose their self confidence to have a direct debate with him. But the desire for fame stood in the way of staying back from the debate. For that, they invited a scholar from another region and, and arranged to engage him in the debate. If won, the credit would be theirs. If lost, his would be the disgrace. The folk of scholars is well known for such tricks. A very great tragedy of Kali Yuga is that major part of the life of many scholars is spent by indulging in such tricks. So scholars, they want honorarium also, they want appreciation also. At the same time, they wanted Madhvacharya to be defeated. But they alone could not stand, because if they stand, it will be very shameful. So they engaged a very scholarly person to debate with Madhvacharya. If he loses, it will be his shame, and if he wins, then Madhvacharya is defeated, and then the credit will go to them. The debate began. The topic chosen by them was the Dana Suktam of Rig Veda. Dana Suktam. The Suktam is put here. Nava U Deva Ksamavidvadham Dudurataasitamupa Gacha Gachati Mrityah Utto Mriyah Pranato Utto Uttomra I Hrupranato Nopa Dasyatu Tapranam Madrataram Navindate. So this is the Rig Veda Suktam has been put. This is Dana Suktam. The main import of that Suktam is to praise the donor and decry the miser. Purna Pragya is an ascetic. Indeed, donation is not an ordained rule for the personal accomplishment of ascetics. For them who have renounced all attachment, donating knowledge and giving refuge are the main donations. That is, there is no chance of ascetics having acquaintance with Dana Sukta. So Purna Pragya is not likely to be acquainted with its meaning, hence victory is ours. This was their consensus of opinion. So they selected what? Dana Sukta, because ascetics shall not be interested in taking the dana for themselves. In fact, they should give the dana. What is the dana? Knowledge dana, refuge dana. So these words will not be acquainted with Madhvacharya. So these scholars, what they did was they chose this verse. Those scholars who insisted that Purna Pragya should give meaning to that suktam, for that who had known that he was Purna Pragya only by the name, the exposition he gave made them agree that he was really omniscient Purna Pragya. In the course of giving the meaning, he said the predicate praniyat, because there's a word here, praniyat, that is a predicate occurring in that suktam, is derived of the root prana. The puzzled opponent scholar attempted to side track the issue by giving irrelevant interpretation for it. For that, he said the root of this predicate is not prana, it is prin. Laughing at his ignorance, Purnapragya said, O fool, how is it possible for the predicate praniyata to be derivation of the word prin? You do not seem to have even an acquaintance with the word pri, etc. In future, you do one thing. Try to practice writing the letters like this, pri, etc. on sand. Reproaching thus and turning towards the group of scholars, he smiled at them in ridicule. By that, he indeed hinted that he was aware of the plot of the scholars. His smile, seeing through the corner of his eyes, reddened eyes, hinting at his anger, and the like, generated fear in the scholars who had arranged for that assembly. By that, Sri Madhva hinted that he would never tolerate fraud and cheating and the like. The scholars understood the message. They repented very much for the mistake. They felt sorry for what they have done, for not having understood such a crest jewel of scholars, praying him to pardon them. They bowed at his feet. It was no matter of wonder that the group of scholars bowed to the Acharya, as even groups of celestial bowed to him. Thus, along with conquering opponents, he had criticized the conduct of those scholars and made them to adhere to the discipline. So, this is the rare details of the conduct and rule of scholarly assemblies were collected in his work, Katha Lakshanam, which was composed later. Katha Lakshanam, that means how to have discipline for the disciples. This is another greatness. One must engage oneself in Vada Katha and not in Jalpa Katha. Vitanda Katha is earmarked for the unfit ones. So one should not have an enviousness when he wants to hear. At the same time, one should not plot or do some fraud with his own preceptor. So in this way, there is Jalpakatha, there is Vadakatha. So one should hear Vadakatha. Vadakatha means to be eager in Vadakatha, hearing, not in Jalpakatha, Prajalpa. Vitanda Katha is earmarked for the unfit ones. So in this way, Dana Suktam was expounded by Madhyacharya. And tomorrow we'll see the meaning. Tomorrow will not have any class because tomorrow is Tulsi Viva arrangements and all we have to do. So here we'll stop our Madhvacharya's many pastimes are there still, but here we'll give a stop to the vrata what we had taken of hearing to the pastimes of Madhvacharya. And then sometimes else we will be doing from the word, true meaning of the word apala. Apala. So all these things we'll see. Then how Madhvacharya comes back to Udupi. He gives Gita Bhashya, then goes to Badri. He shows his rare works because till now he has now given Suktam and he has given the Bhashya. He visits Badri. There he shows the Gita Bhashya to Vedavyasa. And there is a nice Mangala Shlokam. He has written the Gita Bhashya. Devam Narayanam Natva Sarvadosha Vivarjitam Paripurnam Gurumucham Gitaartham Vakshyami Shaktitaha. Whatever I have small strength, according to that, I have given the commentary. Immediately, Vedavyasa said, no, it is Aleshataha. You should not write Shaktitaha, Aleshataha. To the extent a person can grasp it, to that extent, you are going to speak because you are the personification of whole knowledge. So you don't say Shaktitaha. For you, giving knowledge is very simple. But for a person to grasp the knowledge given by you is very difficult. So in this way, many pastimes are there, Badri pastimes are there. So that next time we will do. From Monday onwards, we will start with again Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Bhishma Panchak Mahamotsav ki jai. Kartik Maas ki jai. And Sripad Madhvacharya has blessed us. At least we could read some pastimes, try to understand some pastimes of Madhvacharya. Hare Krishna. So we have a wonderful celebration tomorrow. So devotees are requested if they are free, they can come to the temple. And a lot of seva is there from right from morning 5 or 5:30 itself. A lot of seva is there. So those who are all available, they can just come. Hare Krishna. And today also, if in the afternoon you all are free, somebody is free, they can come because Tirupati Laddu we are making and that requires binding. For the binding, we require devotees because after the marriage, some laddu and all is given. So we thought of giving uh, Tirupati Laddu style, not with the fish oil, pure ghee. Nowadays, Tirupati Laddu means and there is a fear of even taking that laddu. So Tirupati Laddu style, those which was given in the past very nicely. So after the marriage, everybody will be getting, after the vivah, they give some sweets. So this will be given in the hand so that they can share with their family members. So if you all are free, somebody is free, they can come around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock for the binding seva. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyavacha पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।